And welcome to the No-Show Sportscast first pitch, tip-off, kickoff, face-off. I'm Matt Klein. Mondays and Fridays, the Vancouver Canucks, they started this off with a frustrating, it was 1-1, and then finally, St. Louis was able to get the go-ahead goal, and it seemed like things maybe weren't going to be working out for Vancouver on a very, very difficult Eastern Seaboard, and Pittsburgh, and Buffalo, and Columbus, Eastern road trip. A team that had been doing so good for so long, almost like how they started the season. And to be honest, the Vancouver Canucks, they started the year with a 8-1 victory against the Edmonton Oilers, the red-hot Oilers who have won 9 in a row. But back in October, the Canucks were in control. They took them down 8-1 in the first game of the season, and they have not turned back. They have continued to press and to play the exact same way. Elias Pettersson with 9 goals in his last 6. The Canucks, Thatcher Demko, Brock Besser, the whole crew. You have Tyler Myers scoring, for crying out loud. You have Tyler Myers putting up points for the Canucks. So, they go into St. Louis and they lose. A defeat. A tough one. Demko played great. And then they go to Jersey. They go to Jersey and they take care of business against New Jersey 6-4. And then the world's most famous arena, they weren't ready for Vancouver either. And they decided to take out Shesterkin and the whole Rangers army 6-3. And then they go to UBS Arena in Queens and beat the Islanders 5-2. And then Thursday night, we just witnessed one of the best team effort games that the Canucks have had all season. A spectacular 4-3 victory. Elias Pettersson capping it off. There's still 2 more games on this road trip. And it looks like we should just call it, like, what are the midway mark? We're almost at the midway mark. Those awards, the half of the season awards, first half of the season awards, we can be handing them out because Pettersson is balling like a Hart Trophy winner. I mean, he's skating like one. So Pettersson with the overtime victory, 4-3. After the Canucks, they had a 3-1 lead. Besser scored twice in the first period. Crosby came storming back and did the exact same in reverse to get Pittsburgh back into the game with a tie 3-3. And it would have been a whole lot more because Demko played out of his mind, looking like prime Terry Sawchuk in the crease. That was an amazing save off of Sid. With a couple minutes to go, unfortunately, with the extra man, the Penguins are able to tie it, and then Pettersson on a breakaway in overtime beats Tristan Jarry 5-hole, and the Canucks have been rolling. 4 straight wins. So here we are. They're about to play Buffalo. Who cares? Play DeSmith against Buffalo. Play DeSmith against Columbus. Get the third stringer in there for Arizona. I couldn't care less. Because, like, this is like the equivalent of maybe the Celtics or the Warriors or the 2018 Rockets. You all know how much I love the 2018 Rockets, or at least how good I think they were anyways. Never really loved them. Didn't care a whole lot. But the 2018 Rockets, let's just say that those Rockets have won 10 in a row. And now you've got 2 games you got to go to play in Paris, just like the Cavs and the Nets just did. So you're going to rest your starters because the NBA loves to rest people. Over in the NBA, they love to rest people. They love to play guys for no reason and just disappoint fans. That's what the NBA does. The NBA is a disappointment factory. So the rest of this road trip for the Canucks is completely superfluous. It's unfortunate because there's this thing called the rest of the regular season. Now, we're not rolling out the parade already, okay? I'm sure there's a lot of fans. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of Bruins fans last year that wanted to just hand out the parade, get your parade tickets now because we're winning the whole dang thing. Even Maple Leafs, like earlier this year, the Maple Leafs have been pretty good so far this year. Colorado's been itching and scratching. Vegas, obviously, they were contenders all of last year. They're still very much contenders this year. Started the year off 13-0. But that's not what I'm doing. I know the Canucks too well. I've been watching this team for what feels like an eternity. And I'm not even, how old have we, how long have the Canucks been around now? 54 years? I'm not even qualified for that job. I'm not even qualified. I'm not even there. So I wish I could say that it's been as tumultuous and disappointing and, I don't know, tear-jerking of a franchise and the history that they've had. But I'm not going to jump the gun. And it's great to see this, though. It's great to see that everything that I was expecting of the Canucks to sustain so far as a team and to do what they needed to do to be a good team, because it was always going to be, we never were going to know how good of a team they were going to be. We had to see it proven time and time again because they had to keep winning. And they have been, and they are, because they are one of those teams that is now what they're doing now is they're going into arenas and they are embarrassing opponents like they did against the Rangers, continuing this momentum, and now not just first in the Pacific, but they are probably going to stay in that top 5. And it's January 12th. Maybe I shouldn't be jumping the gun. But what did I want more? I wanted more out of Demko. And with Casey DeSmith playing as great of a backup as he has, it's been pretty spectacular to see, okay, we've got a spectacular backup. The Canucks can have DeSmith take over if Demko gets injured. That is like having an excellent quarterback as your backup in case your starter goes down. That's like having Joe Flacco behind Watson. I mean, hey, sometimes, hey, Watson, you can back up for me. I'll suit up and you can stay on the side with your beanie and your nose ring. But what Demko has been doing, Demko has been playing what I wanted. I wanted Demko to be back at that Vezina level because he had been. I felt like, dude, you've been allowing 3 or 4 goals every single game, and I understand that the Canucks have been winning, but we still need to see 930, 940, 950 save performances every now and then because we haven't been seeing them. So we get a 914 save percentage against Pittsburgh. Hey, spectacular. 929 against the Rangers. 840 against Jersey. Hey, that's okay. No problemo there, okay? But a 938 and a 921, that's against St. Louis and Ottawa. So dating back now to when they beat Ottawa 6-3 on home ice. Oh, buddy, what are we doing here? This is just unbelievable. It really is spectacular to see this because it's been so long. It's been so long. But, of course, no matter what happens in April and May, Canucks fans, they can be happy for how far the season has been. How everything's just been great. Everything's been spectacular. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? I think the Canucks have been spectacular. Obviously, defensively, Quinn Hughes is setting himself up to win the Norris. Phil Peronic with a spectacular pass. He's just been passing all over the place because he has been in the good ratings. He has been positive. He has been plus 30 now. Hughes has had good ratings as well. Like this whole defensive core, the Lotto line, and the scrappy third line. Dakota Joshua with the empty netter against, was it the Rangers or the Islanders? He's just been all over the place. I love that guy. And Tyler Myers, I mean, okay, I don't know if 3-on-3 is exactly designed for Tyler Myers, but I was going out of my way to kind of compare the Pittsburgh Penguins to the Clippers of the NHL because we got a bunch of old mid-30 guys that are in their mid-30s. These guys are just playing like that. So don't worry, you're not going to be seeing any breakaways in overtime from Pittsburgh because they're all extremely slow homies. They're all extremely slow homies. And Hall of Famers, for that matter, too. Wow. How many Hall of Famers? 3-on-3, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, I just want to be in the coach's ear sometimes and say, can you please just remind them in case you haven't mentioned this before or in case they're not thinking about it this very moment, but we're going into overtime. You know what overtime means? Overtime means that you got to treat having the puck, you got to treat it like all you need is a field goal in overtime in the NFL. That's how close you are. Except you're in your own zone, you're at your own 5. So if you give up the ball, the other team's going to win. If you give up the puck, the other team's going to win. That's how important possession is. Possession is so important in overtime. You have to control the puck, not let it get away. Don't force anything. Don't do anything stupid. I've seen a lot of stupid plays, especially last year. Kucherov drove me insane. I just wanted to flip my table when I was watching Tampa Bay play last year because these overtime games, they were blowing them with stupid plays in overtime. Nonetheless, let's move on. All is well, all is well, okay? Canucks have been playing spectacular. Demko, congratulations. Good on you. Pettersson, 4-point night Thursday, 4-point night against the Rangers. How do you like that? So, Bill Belichick is gone, hey? What, 24 years? Coach Belichick is gone. Now, before, you know what's more interesting than all of this, before I get into the coaches, like where I think they're going to end up, where they're going to go, this may open the doors for a lot of other coaches to exit so that, GMs can grab these guys. Because, I think a lot of coaches a lot of GMs now, a lot of GMs are probably thinking to themselves, maybe this is an answer to prayer because I think God is telling me to cut this coach so that I can make a bid for Belichick. And if not, I can still try and get Carroll. I can still try and get Harbaugh. I can still try and get Vrabel. It's going to be okay. And that's just the gamble that a lot of the teams, they don't have to worry anymore. It's not like there's going to be in a trade or anything. My perspective is when a coach says, or if there's like a mutual parting of ways. I mean, the gray area for this, okay, so did he resign? I'm going to say Coach Belichick quit. I'm going to say Belichick quit. That's what mutual parting of ways means, except quit sounds a little bit more acrimonial. So let's bring some levity to it. Let's make things super ambiguous, and let's call it they mutually agreed to part ways. To me, that's not firing. That's not being let go because of something. Obviously, I have a feeling that Robert Kraft, that's why they want to make it more personal, so they're not going to say that Belichick quit. Rob is saying, look, fellas, okay, this guy had a terrible 4-13 season, okay? I asked Bill, do you want to keep coaching? And he said, yes, but I think maybe not. He was probably like, I just think that it's time to stop this, okay? Maybe I'm going to retire, and maybe he will. Steve Carroll. Pete Carroll, probably, he's not going to retire, no. And I don't think he's going to retire because of how much he's going to be wanted by other teams. So that's what I think. But, of course, you can't decide to make a bid for these guys if you already have you already have a coach and you're a GM. You can't be doing this. Obviously, you don't want to take the gamble. You want to make sure that, okay, I haven't fired my coach. I'm not searching for one. We've got plenty of time to look for a new coach because a lot of these teams, there's 7, 8 teams that are looking for coaches now. So that's crazy. I think the Chargers have the most leverage to get Belichick, and I really think that they should seriously try and get him, more so than any other teams. Why? Because they're in L.A. This guy can ignite a franchise, and he can ignite the team. Plus, they have defensive quality players. They have quality defensive players that Belichick can turn on. He can ignite the franchise, the fan base, and you got Justin Herbert, who had a 5,000-yard passing season last year, and 4,800 the year before? Herbert, I really like Herbert. But he had been coached like Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. That's how bad Brandon Staley was. So, Vrabel is going to Seattle. Here's why Seattle is not going to go with Belichick, okay? And Belichick's not going to want to go to Seattle, but there is no way that Seattle's getting Belichick, because why would you let go your prized possession in a 72-year-old Pete Carroll and hire another 72-year-old in Belichick? Are you just trying to pair up old quarterback with old coach mentality? Is that what we're doing here? It's not going to happen, okay? Belichick is going to L.A., and I can see Carroll in Atlanta. That would be a lot better. So, Jim Harbaugh, I don't know. But I don't even want to suggest that. There's still so much time. But I don't know. These GMs are probably impatient. They probably are thinking, okay, we got to get going. We got to get going before the draft because I want your input. Monsieur Carroll, Monsieur Belichick. Okay, I want your input because it's a big draft coming up. We got QBs. We got wide receivers. And the Patriots, who are they going to go for? I mean, my goodness. It is going to take a lot longer than we think for the Patriots to return to who and where and what we thought that they could be. Turns out they needed Brady on a multitude of reasons because there has been nothing but failure since his departure. And it's been 4 seasons now. 4! Count them up. Patriots were doomed with nothing, zero happening for them. So this is probably the craziest last couple of days in the NFL for coaching, relieving, and teams that need coaches, and now availability. There's all these great coaches and all these teams that need coaches as well, more than just the coaches that have been fired recently. So, yeah, they might, Carroll and Harbaugh and Vrabel and Belichick, they might go somewhere, they might not. Vrabel, absolutely. Carroll, probably, yes. But I don't know. Even Nick Saban. This guy is like the Mike Krzyzewski, Popovich, Belichick kind of guy. I mean, it's unbelievable, really, that he's gone there now. I mean, I don't think he's going to coach. I think he's actually going to retire. Jim, maybe. I don't know about Jim Harbaugh. But, yeah. Predictions. I mean, we can talk about predictions now. I actually think that Belichick is going to L.A. and Carroll's going to Atlanta. But there's lots of time to go. There's lots of time. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see how all of this goes. And on Monday, we're gonna be reacting to the wild card weekend. Boy, is it gonna be spectacular! I can't wait for Saturday. It is gonna be awesome. Oh man, is it gonna be great or what?